Have you ever heard of someone so wise that they seem to know everything, like Solomon or Zhuge Liang? Zhuge Liang is famous for his intelligence and strategy, especially in the Chinese story romance of the Three Kingdoms. But did you know that there is an even more famous person in China? This guy is Lu Bowen, one of the great prophets in Chinese history. While Zhuge Liang failed to unite China, Lu Bowen did just that. He was an incredible strategist and highly respected prophet. Lu Bowen is also known as Yuan, and he lived in the Ming dynasty. He helped Emperor Zhu Yuanzhang establish the Ming dynasty and became known as one of its founders. Thanks to Lu Bowen and his brilliant tactics, Zhu Yuanzhang managed to defeat many powerful generals and unite the region south of the Great Wall for the first time in Chinese history. While Zhuge Liang failed, Lu Bowen succeeded, and so it is said that Zhuge Liang divided the world, but Lu Bowen unified the earth. His incredible talent continues to be admired to this day. It is said that Lu Bowen had a divine ability to predict the future. He was a master in numerology and left several books on predictions and divinations, including the famous Zhang Shu, one of the classics of numerology. Furthermore, Lu Bowen wrote many books that predicted the future, including Zhongmi, Jin Ling Ta Bei Ming, and Yu Li Bai Ji, which are considered his three great prophetic works. These books talk about the future of China and the world. He is known for predicting events that would occur 500 years in the future and 500 years in the past. Lu Bowen delivered to the emperor a prediction that included Li Zicheng's rebellion, the Mongol invasion of 1449, and the Sino-Japanese War. In 1386, Zhu Yuanzhang was eating a steamed cake when Lu Bowen visited him. Zhu Yuanzhang decided to test Lu Bowen, hid half of the cake inside a bowl and asked, "Master, you who are skilled in numerology, can you tell me what's inside this bowl?" Lu Bowen replied, "Half is like the sun, half is like the moon, and it has a bite." It is a cake, surprising the emperor with his precision. Hey, you're watching right now. Before continuing, I want to make a special request of you. If you like what you're seeing, don't waste time and subscribe to the channel. This makes all the difference and helps me bring you more amazing content. Oh, and don't forget to leave a like too. Your thumbs up is super fuel for me and shows me that I'm on the right path, bringing stories that you love and that touch your heart. Together, we can create an incredible community full of inspiring, learning-filled stories. So click the subscribe button now and activate the bell so you don't miss any news. Here we go. I count on you. This story led Lu Bowen to name one of his books Zhongmi, steamed cake. In the book Zhongmi, there are several other predictions made by Lu Bowen related to Ming Emperor Taizu Zhu Yuanzhang. For example, when the emperor asked whether the city of Nanjing could be captured, Lu Bowen replied, "If the city is well defended and the soldiers are loyal, there is no need to worry. But a bird may enter." Later, the city was captured by the emperor's fourth son, the Yongle Emperor, who was known as Bird in his predictions. Another example was when the emperor asked how far the Ming dynasty would reach. Lu Bowen replied, 10,000 children and grandchildren. This could be interpreted to mean that the Ming dynasty would last forever, but it could also refer to the 13th Ming Emperor, the Wanli Emperor. In fact, the last emperor of the Ming dynasty was Emperor Wanli's grandson, Emperor Chongzhen. Thus, Lu Bowen's prediction was fulfilled once again. Historically, the Ming dynasty fell due to Li Zicheng's rebellion. Lu Bowen predicted this as well and used his character interpretation skill to help Zhu Yuanzhang predict the future. At that time, Zhu Yuanzhang chose the character Shun, and Lu Bowen said that the decomposition of the character would be 3 stones and 6 whites, predicting that the Ming dynasty would last 306 years. Hundreds of years later, Li Zicheng destroyed the Ming dynasty and founded the Shun dynasty, fulfilling Lu Bowen's prophecy. The Ming Emperor Taizu Zhu Yuanzhang ascended the throne in 1356, and the southern Ming dynasty fell in 1662. Thus, Lu Bowen's prophecy that the Ming dynasty would last 306 years came true. Lu Bowen also predicted the fall of the kingdom founded by Li Zicheng and the rise of the Qing dynasty, leaving a prophecy that said, "When the flowers of the Wutong tree bloom, the hero will emerge and the Great Wall will fall." The flowers of the Wutong tree, or Kintoki, refer to Wu Sangue, who sided with the Qing dynasty, tore down the Great Wall, and defeated Li Zicheng. Thus, the scholar's loyalty to the emperor was shaken, fulfilling Lu Bowen's prophecy once again. One of Lu Bowen's prophecies, "When the gods of rain and grass arise, half the pedestrians on the street will be monks," can be interpreted as a prediction of Manchu rule in China. Another of his works, the inscription Jinling Ta Bei Ming, is considered one of the 10 great prophecies of Chinese folk tradition and was discovered in Nanjing in 1918. This inscription predicted modern historical events of the 20th century, capturing the public's attention. The first prediction was about the destruction of the Jinling Tower and predicted the Chinese Civil War between the Kuomintang and the Chinese Communist Party. Another prediction stated, "Even if the sea is locked, the river will not be deep," which predicted the Chinese Communist Party's victory in the Civil War. The expression, "even if the sea is locked," means the confrontation between the two parties across the Taiwan Strait, representing the proximity between the Chinese mainland and Taiwan. The prediction "devastating war, every home in despair" referred to the Japanese invasion during World War II, predicting Japan's destruction and surrender to Western forces. Furthermore, the prediction "the 100-year dream of the busy street" indicated the surrender of Germany and Italy in World War II. These countries, allies of Japan, also surrendered to the Allied forces, confirming the accuracy of Lu Bowen's prophecies. The inscription Jinling Ta Bei Ming also predicted the rise of Mao Zedong, making Lu Bowen even more famous. Recently, his prophecies about SARS and the coronavirus have also drawn attention, with a light air will kill millions prediction. The interpretation is that the Great Lamb refers to the year of the Ram, which is 2003, when the SARS epidemic occurred. Light air refers to the coronavirus, which spreads through the air, and the prediction that it will not be supported by even a single iron thread could be interpreted as a reference to the collapse of the Fenghua Bridge Viaduct, considered the China's largest civil engineering project since the Great Wall. Furthermore, the prediction "when red flowers wither, white flowers will bloom" could mean the fall of the Chinese Communist Party and the rise of new Western powers, while the 100-year dream refers to the fall of the Chinese Communist Party. Lu Bowen also predicted that it will be difficult to surpass Gung Chen's years, but if you pass, you will become a living immortal. The Gung Chen years refer to the period between 2022 and 2025, during which he predicted disasters that were unimaginable. Lu Bowen warned that if we do not improve morality, regardless of whether we are rich or poor, death will overtake us. The inscriptions on top of the Jinling Ta Bei Ming monument suggest that anyone who truly understands the meaning of words can overcome this chaos and live in prosperity. Although he lived during the Ming dynasty, Lu Bowen continues to be loved by many Chinese as his predictions were seen as glimpses into the future. In 2008, oral literature related to Lu Bowen was included in China's Intangible Cultural Heritage, and in 2015, a 40-episode Chinese drama series, Zhu Yuanzhong and Lu Bowen, was aired and became extremely popular. Will Lu Bowen's predictions, considered superior to Zhuge Liang's, come true? What do you think of Lu Bowen's prophecies? Leave your comments below. In 2022, an event that shook the world was the invasion of a small Eastern European country by a large Far Eastern nation. This incident brought to light a man who set the internet on fire with his predictions. His name is Alois Erlmeyer. This man, who lived more than 100 years ago, suddenly became an online sensation. But why just? Is he now gaining prominence? Alois was born in 1894, in a small rural village in Bavaria, Germany, and led a humble life as a farmer. When World War I broke out, Alois, being German, served in the German army. During one battle, a bomb exploded nearby, burying him alive for 3 days as he awaited death. However, something extraordinary happened. Alois had a vision of his own salvation. Miraculously, he was rescued exactly as predicted in his vision, 2 years after his participation in the war, and returned home safely. After this incident, Alois realized he had a special gift. He could predict people's futures just by looking at their faces, and even predict future events in specific locations. Although Alois discovered his prophetic abilities, he kept it a secret and continued working as a well driller. In 1939, World War II began, and their region was affected by attacks. Alois once had a vision of a bomb falling in his neighborhood, destroying the village. He immediately warned residents to evacuate. At the time, the region of Freising in Bavaria, where Alois lived, was considered safe, as it was far from the front line in Berlin. However, shortly afterwards, as Alois had predicted, bombings devastated the area, and many residents owe their survival to him. This event quickly spread, and Alois gained fame as a prophet who saved lives. Many people came to him to find out about their futures. Even though he had the opportunity to earn a lot of money as a famous psychic, Alois never charged for his predictions. After the end of the Second World War and the return of peace in 1947, Alois was accused of fraud by a pastor in the neighboring village, who accused him of inciting the public with false predictions. During the trial, Alois declared that he only reported what he saw and that he never demanded anything from anyone, nor did he accept money for his predictions. The judge then asked if he could demonstrate his skills in court. Alois replied, "Send someone now to check. Your wife is wearing a red dress and is with a gentleman." When they investigated, they discovered it was true. Alois was acquitted, and this incident was officially recorded in the German court archives. Even in an environment where decisions are made based on evidence and logic, Alois' ability to predict the future was recognized, something that science still cannot explain. Before his death, Alois left one last prediction. When the 2022 invasion occurred, his prophecies again became the subject of intense debate. The accuracy of his predictions and the recent geopolitical situation have made his omens an important topic to discuss today. Let us now explore Alois' remaining prophecies. According to him, when everything is at peace, a new war in the Middle East will suddenly begin. Large naval fleets will face each other in the Mediterranean, increasing tensions, but the real battle will take place in the Balkans. I saw a powerful man murdered, followed by two others in a power struggle. They were hired by someone else, and after the third murder, a great war will begin. It will begin in the Balkans, but I can't see the exact date. However, the war will begin at dawn and will spread quickly. Alois predicted that this great war would be started by the assassination of a powerful leader, an event that many believe will come to fruition in 2022. He also said that, while farmers play cards in bars, black armies will come from the east, and the first attack will begin in the northwest, near the Blue Waters, advancing to the Swiss border. After that, Eastern troops will march on the capital of Serbia and head to Italy. Then, tanks from around the world will advance from north of the Danube to the Rhine, devastating Frankfurt. The invasion will be mainly from the air, and the Russian army will be responsible. He predicted a war so big that it could be considered a third world war, started by the Russian army. This would involve several European nations and eventually cross the ocean to invade Alaska and Canada. This means that the military forces of the United States and other nations will be involved in World War III. The reference to the long yellow line of planes suggests the use of biological weapons or white phosphorus, devastating substances prohibited by international treaties. The all-consuming crescent moon can be interpreted as a nuclear explosion, with a mushroom cloud resulting from a nuclear attack. Following this catastrophic event, a colossal tsunami and climate change will occur, sinking major cities and altering weather patterns. After 3 days of darkness and lethal dust, peace will return, and there will be a long period of tranquility. Alois expressed relief at not witnessing this terrible future, and passed away in 1959, according to his own prediction. Unlike Nostradamus, Alois was relatively unknown outside of Germany until the 2022 invasion and global tensions thrust him into the spotlight. The possibility of World War III and growing anxiety made his prophecies more relevant than ever. What do you think of Alois' prophecies? Share your thoughts in the comments. In 1968, Emmanuel Minus, a missionary pastor, met an elderly woman in a quiet village in Norway. This woman, then 90 years old, reported having impressive visions about the future.